K-High Harmony, Episode 1. I'm sorry, guys. Um, the author wanted to make this a 6 episode series, but only stopped at episode 1, so we're just gonna call it as it is. K-High Harmony. uh, Chapter 1, Fractured Bonds. Harmony. Without it, there could be no peace. Even though the most different things can coexist with each other, there is harmony between them. Two worlds, as different in night and day, will be joined together, forever changing both when the dust settles. For one, an idyllic paradise that thrives off of every pony and everything working together. For the other, a rampant whirlwind of chaos that fuels the adventures of its inhabitants. Can the two actually be one? Some say no, as such things were never meant to be together. As this tale will show, harmony can be found in the most unlikely of places, for the most unlikeliest of people. This is the tale of what transpired when the visitors of this chaotic world entered the land of a peaceful existence. What happens then will forever change the balance of both parties, but most importantly, the visitors who needed harmony with themselves. The sides of the apartment building were filled to the brim with balloons and streamers and other decorations. It was a time of celebration for a young rabbit named Cream, who was preparing the room for her birthday. Joining her was her mother Vanilla and her pet child named Cheese. Together, they made sure that everything in the room was up to perfection. The ensuing party that was going to be there for the best, for it was the first that would be spent among friends. Really, all this time Cream has spent with them and none of them ever came to our birthday party? Oh, some friends. Among those planning to attend were Sonic, the world's fastest hedgehog with an attitude to match. And that's all you need to know about Sonic according to Sega. Miles tails per hour. A fox with two tails, that's his name, was an expert mechanic and inventor. Knuckles, the Echidna, who usually guards the Mega Master Emerald, decided to show up here for this occasion, and has also been flanderized to oblivion thanks to Sega, because, gosh darn it, Sega does not realize how to write decent characters. They think all you need to do is just one character trait, and that's it. You don't need to show anything else. Sonic always has to be the same type of character all the dang time. Never show any other type of emotions, only one emotion, because nobody else can accept Sonic having any other emotions. Knuckles must always be an idiot. Why? Because that's all they know how to write. And Amy Rose, a pink hedgehog with it, very infatuated with Sonic. Oh, this is the game's continuity, isn't it? Well, time for me to... You sit down. But Trixie, I'd rather have the comics or Satam. I'd rather have characterization and characters I can relate to and a good story and something fun and interesting. Not this. This is a Sega trying its best to become a shameless Mario knockoff, and they know it! You are going to read this. Fine, but I'm doing this under protest. They have shared countless adventures with one another, and today they are going to celebrate the little girl's birthday. Not too long after preparations were finished, the guests arrived bearing gifts and other goodies. Cream could barely contain herself as the pile of wrapped goodies began to pile up on the floor. Her mother asserted that the best was yet to come, but she was too wrapped up in happiness to care. Things were turning out perfectly as she imagined, and nothing could go wrong. Happy birthday, Cream! Amy said as she handed her a present. As she gleefully opened the package to find a giant mallet, much like her own, Cream politely accepted it while her mother Vanilla gave a disapproving look. A mallet? Really? Couldn't you have gotten something safer, like a teddy bear? Tails asked. I'm with Tails on this. No way! Cream isn't a little girl anymore, she replied. She's turning into a lady, and a lady must always have something to use when in danger, or chasing down her love. I don't know. I really don't see... Well, Uncle Crow gave me a broadsword for my birthday. You girls are huntresses. You don't count. The two-tailed fox just shook his head. Why don't you say so? I don't see how to use it now that Eggman's gone. It was true. Dr. Ivo Robotnik, better known as Eggman due to his large stature that made him look like an egg, was a mad scientist with a love of destruction and robots. It was a constant threat to the inhabitants of the world. He was always plotting new ways to take over the planet, some scheme already hideous to the last. Besides being very heavy-set, he was also very persistent. Every time his plans were thwarted, he came back more determined than ever. It's because of the efforts of Sonic that he never succeeded in his plans. Still, despite tasting defeat every time, he usually comes in sometime soon after, laughing maniacally, as he announced his next plan for world domination. And every time, Sonic and his friends put an end to his plot. It had been years since Eggman was last defeated, and he hadn't been seen since. No random attacks from his machines, no powerful monster unleashed to terrorize the nation, not even a single laugh filled the air. It's as if he had disappeared off the face of the earth, mustering relief into the world. I preferred if he had already taken over the world, because that would be unique. Without him around, things have gotten a lot more peaceful, and without anyone or anything to defeat, Sonic and his friends adjusted to a less chaotic lifestyle, living everyday normal lives. Some adapted well, some did not.
Doesn't matter, Amy said. For all we know, he isn't gone. He's just hiding. I hope he really is gone, though. Now that Eggman is nowhere to be seen, Sonic and I have gotten really close. We're practically a couple now.
I don't think he calls being chased around trying to get him to date you close, Amy. Tails mused. The girl immediately glared at Tails while slowly pulling out her mallet, the Pico Pico hammer.
What was that? I didn't quite hear you.
Guys, could you do me a favor in the comments? Write down, why do you think Son Amy is better than Sally? Because I don't see it. Look at this. Tails just basically told Amy that she's a stalking bitch, and she tried to beat him for it. Sally would never do this. But no. Apparently, Son Amy is the way. Why? The young fox just shook his head nervously.
What I meant to say was, hey, look, everyone! Sonic and Knuckles are back on the cake.
Tails pointing out the window. Breathing a sigh of relief as he, Amy, and everyone else stopped to look outside. Everyone was in awe as the cake made its way to the entrance of the apartment. It was huge, about 3 times the height of Cream herself. Judging by how both carriers were struggling to make it upstairs, it was heavy as well. Homemade vanilla chocolate ice cream cake with colorful sprinkles, decorative frosting, and shaped to look like the birthday girl. The cake was so massive they had trouble getting it through the door. The hedgehog and the kingdom were fumbling around, adjusting themselves so that it could fit through the doorway. The crowd eagerly watched as both patrons continued on their epic struggle, fearing that a mere slip of the fingers would cause it to fall. Thankfully, they maneuvered it into the living room without a single lick of frosting wasted. It was there in all its glory. Cream could barely contain herself for a sweet tooth, by far the biggest among her friends. Oh, how she couldn't wait to take one huge bite out of that mouth-watering beauty. Other people started to feel the same way. Sorry we're late, everybody, Sonic apologized. We would have been here sooner if someone didn't get the directions to the bakery wrong. Well, last time, Sonic, it wasn't my fault. I thought the map reader said to turn left on Route 280, not 99. Knuckles retorted. It was well known that among the things the red, treasure hunting Echidna was good at, reading directions was not one of them. So, it's all your fault, Knucklehead. How about this? Next time I read the directions, you carry the heavy cake, Sonic sneered. Hi, what's it, Sonic, unless you want a face full of fists? Knuckles growled. Sonic stuck his tongue out mockingly, making the red Echidna even more furious.
Enough, you two. Please don't fight on my daughter's birthday. At your age, not Cream's.
Vanilla interjected. Immediately, both offenders stopped and sheepishly apologized.
Yeah, I guess whose fault is it anyway? The cake is here, so let's eat,
Amy said gleefully. Everyone in attendance agreed. Before we do, Vanilla spoke, causing Amy to look sadly down at her stomach.
I have a few things I want to say.
She then turned to Cream with a book-shaped package in her hand.
I want to thank you all for coming out here to celebrate Cream's birthday. Ever since we were rescued from Dr. Eggman years ago, you've been the greatest friends anyone can ask for. And for that I say thank you for keeping her safe and strong.
As everyone smiled and watched, Vanilla turned to her daughter, eyes wide with an eager gaze.
Cream, ever since you were a little girl, you've been growing into a special young lady. You've even helped Mr. Sonic in saving the world so many times.
Yeah, and, I count 2.
Oh, sometimes I fear you're growing up too fast. But then again, you can't be little forever, I guess. Aw, don't worry, Mommy. I'm still a little girl, and I'll always be a little girl.
Cream reassured as she gave a warm hug to her beloved mother.
Aww.
Tails and Amy expressed their approval of the strong, loving bond between the birthday girl and her mother. Sonic and Knuckles, who were not accepting his affection, rolled their eyes as their stomachs eagerly attended to the heartwarming moment. The blue hedgehog silently tapped his foot on the floor as he considered taking a taste of that cake.
Yes, of course you will, Vanilla replied. Year after year, you're growing up to be a fine young lady. I just want to be there with you every step of the way. Now that it's your birthday, I have something for you I know you're going to like.
She then handed over the present in her hand to Cream.
Sweetie, this is for you.
Cream held the bag-shaped present in her hand, grinning from ear to ear.
What could be inside?
She wondered. Without giving it any more thought, she ripped through the wrapping. It was a book, with a decorative cover to showcase a picture of 6 cute ponies playing on the hills. At first, she stared at it with moving, as if the book itself froze her on sight. Then, she suddenly let out a extremely loud scream that the whole neighborhood could hear.
Ah! My Little Pony Adventures in Equestria book! I wanted this for so long. It's my favorite book ever, and Mommy got it for me. I can't believe it. It's here, it's here. Oh, Mommy, thank you.
Cream blurted out.
Oh, please, please.
Well, it's quite long, Cream, Vanilla said.
Tell you what, I'll read just a little, and the rest I'll read at bedtime, alright?
Cream frantically nodded her head yes. Whoa, wait a minute, Sonic interjected. I don't mean to be rude, but can you do this after we serve the cake? I'm not going to sit around listening to some girly story about rainbow ponies until the ice cream melts.
Sonic! Amy yelled. This is Cream's party, remember? She can do whatever she wants, so stop acting like a brat. Miss Vanilla, please excuse him. He doesn't usually act like this. We would love to hear the story, so please, continue.
Look, I love the girls and all. I would love to read a good story, but this is an ice cream cake. It's going to be melting soon. How about we serve that, then read it? Because, if we continue to read, the cake's gonna melt. I mean, if this was an ice cream cake, I'd be fine, but it's an ice cream cake! It's going to die! Slowly! And look, colorful sugar-sweet ponies aren't my type of thing. I'd rather be in one of the Egghead's dress than to listen to this. He's just, Amy whipped out her hammer with a very annoyed look in her eye.
Sonic, sweetie.
Wow, that punch came out of nowhere.
Either you sit down right there, listen to the story, or my Pico hammer flies your head. Your choice.
Bitch. Sonic, too stunned to move, sighed and reluctantly agreed. It was not wise to take off Amy, something he had learned the hard way multiple times.
And she beats him? Guys! Why?
You're putting Sonic into an abusive relationship. I hope you realize this. Why? I'm going to see them on Mobius versus the cops. You guys realize this. Or worse, I'm going to see Amy arrested for domestic abuse because she abused her own children because they, I don't know, stepped on her toe wrong.
Honestly, you've been acting more of a jerk than usual. What's gotten into you anyway?
Amy huffed. The blue-clad hedgehog said nothing, as he sat down with a bored and disgruntled expression on his face. True, Sleep had been bugging him for the longest time. With Dr. Eggman gone, there just wasn't much to do anymore. Sure, there was an occasional robbery and fire rescue, but that's small range compared to being his arch nemesis and latest plan. Now that everything was peaceful, it's gotten much more boring, and boredom went with Sonic like moldy cheese on a chili dog. What's this to say? Not at all. As time flew by, Sonic became less and less enthused and more irritated. Everyone else was fine with living normal lives, but not him. He lived every day like it's a new adventure. But what was there to do now that the adventure's over? Sitting around doing nothing, listening to stories about ponies? I don't mind. I spend 6 days a week reading stories about ponies. There just had to be something, anything he could do. Only Eggman were creating havoc. He'd be more entertaining than the boredom he had to put off with now.
Thank you, Amy,
Vanilla said in relief.
Okay, everyone, gather around for the story. I'll read the first few pages, then we'll serve the cake.
Guys. Cake, ice cream, melts.
Don't worry, Sonic. It's over, we'll head to the Smash Shack. Silly dogs are on me. Sounds fun?
Tails asked. Sonic shrugged, not even looking at his best friend. Not even chili dogs. Sonic's favorite food could cheer him up now. Vanilla propped cream on her lap, while her pet child Cheese sat on hers. Dizzy opened the book, cleared her throat, and began to read aloud the first page.
Once upon a time, in the magical land of Equestria, there were two sisters who ruled the world together and created harmony for all the land. To do this, the elder used her unicorn powers to raise the sun at dawn. The younger brought out the moon to begin the night. Thus the sisters maintained balance for their kingdom and their subjects, all the different types of ponies. But as time went on, the younger sister became resentful. The ponies relished and played in the day her older sister brought forth, and slept through her beautiful night. One fateful day, the younger unicorn refused to lower the moon to make way for the dawn. The elder sister tried to reason with her, but the bitterness in her heart had transformed into a wicked mare of darkness. Nightmare Moon! She vowed that she would shroud the land in eternal night. Reluctantly, her sister harnessed the most powerful magic known to Equestria, the elements of harmony. Using the magic of the elements of harmony, she defeated her younger sister, and banished her permanently to the moon. The elder sister took on responsibility of both the sun and moon, and harmony has been maintained in Equestria for generations since.
Okay, that's it, Sonic interrupted. I tried to listen and bear it, but I just can't. Unicorns, Ponyville, talk about sugary. I'm gonna bail before I start puking rainbows. Rainbows! And he got off of his seat, ready to make a man dance out here.
Sonic, what's your problem? Amy screamed. This is taking you too far. You've become a real big jerk ever since you beat Eggman.
Yeah, Sonic, Knuckles said. He's gone now. I'll just chill. And then what? Sit around doing nothing listening to that? No, thank you. You guys may be fine with doing things so dull, but not me. I mean, look at you guys. Knuckles just lazes around back on Angel Island. Tails decides to start a repair shop and works all day. And you! Sonic paused, pointing at Amy. You never leave me alone. I don't laze around, Knuckles retorts. I still got some monsters to handle. It's a very tough job, thank you very much.
Times have changed, Sonic, and Eggman's gone, Amy responded. Can't you just accept that and settle down?
Hello, I'm Sonic, he said to her. I don't settle down. I don't accept normality. And I certainly don't listen to little girl stories.
Yes, Mr. Sonic, don't be upset, Cream reasoned. Here, have some cake. I know they'll cheer you up.
Sonic ignored her and continued to rant. This place has gotten so boring. You used to see Gun everywhere, but now they're not on these streets. Heck, even Sour Roots are gone. Looks like they had the right idea. I'm not sticking around any longer.
Sonic, if you do that, I can't see you anymore, Amy said. What am I going to do without you around?
Gee, I don't know, Sonic sneered sarcastically. Maybe you can find somebody else to chase around. Or, better yet, perhaps you could do something besides stalk people! Yeah! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, Sonic, that was wonderful. Thank you. Could you continue on? Yeah. You know another thing? I'm getting sick and tired of just being flanderized into just being the cool guy and the super awesome guy with no emotions, no feelings, or even a romance angle. Oh no. Ever since Sega took over, they've been convinced that I should be a one-note, flat character with no dimensions to me whatsoever. Even Mario has it better than I do. Freaking Mario, who, can take on different jobs at any given time in his life, because as far as Shigeru Miyamoto is concerned, Mario is just a guy playing a character on the stage. Me? I'm supposed to be a character, but according to Sega, all I am is just the cool guy with the quills and the raggle too. Even Link has evolved. Link, Mr. I'm the voiceless. I have no voice, and my name changes whenever the player decides to change it to something silly, like, say, ass, or something like that. But me? No. Sega, as far as it's concerned, has to make me one way, and that is it. Well, hate to tell you this, Sega, but that makes me bland. It doesn't make me cool, it doesn't make me awesome, and it certainly takes away everything that made me attractive in the first place! And yeah, Amy, you think I'm done with you saying that you stalk people? Yeah, guess what? You say that you care about me. You love me. Well, you don't love me. You don't even know the first thing about me. All you want to do is just stalk me around and then bring out your hammer to beat me every time you see me do something wrong. You don't want me. You want a project. That's all you want. You don't love me. You love the idea of me. Everyone in the room gasped. Vanilla, cream, and cheese covered their mouths in shock. Tails and Knuckles' jaws were on the floor. Me? I'm giving Sonic a thumbs up for saying what we've been wanting him to say for so long! Everyone could not believe what Sonic just said to her. Amy, the poor bitch, just stood there, eyes wide open in disbelief. Her? A stalker? Yes! She was only just showing affection for her beloved by beating him with a hammer. And then telling him that he can't escape unless he agrees to marry him. Then continuously chasing him around into dangerous situations, willing to sacrifice his friends if it means that he'll be okay, trying to get him to stay away from dangerous situations even though, he's the hero, and basically just being overall bitch to every single person in existence. To have her love really backfire was just heart-crunching. For who?
Well, that was harsh, Tails spoke. Sonic, that wasn't very nice at all. See, maybe, well, Amy, but she's still your friend.
No, she isn't. She's never been my friend. Oh yeah, sure, says the guy who won't even hang out with his best friend. It's all about the repair shop now. Every time I come to visit, it's always, oh, hi Sonic, wait right there, I'll help someone out. Or, sorry, you can't see you today, I have a huge repair order. You're never around anymore, all because of that stupid business. And yeah, that's my problem with what Sega's been treating you. You have just been demoted to just, I hang around and I do things. You barely establish any type of character or any type of, relationship. Because, Luigi does more than you. But the Fox Boy tried to speak. But in his heart, he knew he was right. The garage was a success, but it was becoming into the free time he and Sonic shared. Day after day, hundreds of customers came to have their electronics fixed or modified. Dealers had been busy with demands. He didn't know how Sonic felt about this, but he tried to hang with his bro every time he could.
Please stop arguing, Vanilla pleaded. Let's just enjoy this delicious cake and put the whole fight behind us.
Everyone in the audience briskly agrees. They do not want to see it escalate to something more terrible. It wouldn't take long before things do.
Sonic.
Everyone paused to see the pink hedgehog. Face down with eyes whisper his name. Tears streaming down her cheek. She sniffed at nothing else. The room was silent and still. The tension electrified the entire area. Even Sonic stopped to look at the girl he had broken. She opened her mouth and began to say something. What little sadness she had turned into an unleashed rage.
Sonic, I hate you!
Well, Amy, what a mature and thoughtful and intelligent way of handling this situation. It's so nice to see you actually being intelligent. With the force of an 18-wheeler, Amy slammed her mallet to the ground, right on Knuckles' foot. The poor Kinda, handily enraged, grabbed his flattened foot, jumping upwards into a huge purple feline named Big. Startled, he let go of his little froggy buddy, who hopped around all over the place and onto Fanilla's hair. The mother screamed in horror, jumping up and knocking cream and cheese to the floor, or shaking the frog out of her hair with little success. Tails ran over to grab the little amphibian from Fanilla's tangled hair, but he was sent from behind by a startled guest. So instead, he knocked the poor woman over, falling next to the cake. Big saw his pet and ran over to him. Who's Big? He yelled as he took a flying leap in the air, much to the dismay of Vanilla and Tails. He missed, colliding with the cake table and sending it flying across the room. The dessert flipped twice in the air, and it came down on Sonic and Amy with a huge splat. Sonic, blindsided by the enormous pastry that hit him, nearly fell unconscious. Ice cream cake covered him from head to toe. He was humiliated. At that moment, he felt his anger reach its breaking point. That's it! I'm done! First thing tomorrow, I'm out of here. I hope I never see you guys again. Audience, just to be sure, we're supposed to be not on Sonic's side, right? We're supposed to be disagreeing with him, right?
Fine by me, Tails yelled.
Me too, Knuckles fumed.
Good. If I never see any of you again, it's too soon.
The four continued their spat, when all of a sudden they were interrupted by the sound of sniffles. Everyone was caught up in the chaos that nobody noticed Cream, eyes full of tears and her lower lip quivering with sadness.
How did this all go wrong?
She thought. Everyone was so happy to be with each other, and now the room was completely trashed with her friends splitting apart. This was her special day, but everything went so wrong. All she could do now was cry. In a flash, she ran up to the guest room, sobbing all the way. This was the last sound to be heard from her was the jarring slam of the door.
Oh no, Cream dear.
A worried Vanilla spoke. Before she went upstairs to try and comfort her daughter, she turned to the four of them with a disappointed look in her eyes.
You should all be ashamed of yourselves. Because of this, Cream lost her friends.
Chapter 2. The storm begins. Evening set in, and everyone had left the party. The mess from the fight was properly cleaned, and everything was back to normal. Vanilla paid one more visit to her daughter's bedroom before retreating to her sleeping quarters. After what took place earlier that day, the young rabbit could barely speak a word, much less so her usually beaming face around everyone. She retreated her quietly into the comfort of her bed sheets, reading stories from her book. Cheese tried to comfort his master to little to no avail, but nevertheless, she smiled for his effort. After a quick tap on the door, the mother quietly entered her daughter's keep.
Cream, honey, are you all right?
She asked. Cream slowly nodded her head yes. It was quite clear that the little girl was lying.
I'm sorry for what happened today. I know you wanted everything to be perfect, as did I. Sometimes things don't turn out the way we want them to. But we shouldn't have to let that bring us down.
She then sat alongside the edge of her daughter's bed, stroking her hair, trying to cheer her up.
By the way, Mr. Knuckles left something for you.
She reached out her hand and grabbed a lustrous, luminescent jewel from her pocket. She gemstone glowed brightly from the palm of her mother's hand, bathing the room in a brilliant green light. This was no ordinary jewel, that was for sure. This was a Chaos Emerald, a beautiful yet powerful diamond-like gemstone filled with unlimited, untamed energy. It had power to control both time and space with a technique called Chaos Control. Warp reality and turned wishes into power. There were 7 of these magnificent minerals in the world, and when one collected all 7, a miracle would happen to him, or her lucky enough to have them. Being the source of power that they were, these objects of desire Eggman sought after, and our heroes made it their mission to keep them away from the maniacal scientists at all costs.
I don't want it,
Cream said softly spoke. Sadly, her mother placed the gem on her dresser.
Do you want me to read you the rest of the story?
Vanilla asked. She shook her head no. Mother decided it was best to leave her daughter to herself. After a kiss goodnight, both her and Cheese, she made her way to the door. Before leaving, Cream asked her mother one last question.
Mommy, what's the use of having friends if everyone fights all the time?
At first, Vanilla said nothing. She never expected this type of question from someone her age. Her mother rabbit thought on this, hoping to answer her words with something that she needed to hear. After thinking about it for a second, she replied with much optimism.
Friendship is a wonderful, magical thing. Don't give up on it. Someday, you'll find someone who will bring some magic into your life. I promise.
With those parting words, Vanilla wished her darling good night and shut the door. Cream waited until her mother was asleep, then turned the lights back on to read the rest of the storybook. Page by page, he read through a different pony story in their daily lives in Ponyville. Each mare had a different tale, but it usually ended the same way. Through the ponies' friendship, they were able to overcome mountainous obstacles. Even when their differences put them at odds with each other, their conflict was resolved by the end of the story. The more Cream read, the more immersed she became with herself in the world of Equestria. It was unlike anything she had seen. This was a world where everybody lived so peacefully with one another, and everything and everybody were nice and bright. There was little to no fighting, no sadness, no hate. It was this world she had always dreamed of, but sadly, that was where it was ended. It was a dream and nothing more. She had to live in this world, where friends fight and ruin birthday parties. Why couldn't life be more like the ones in the book? Why couldn't her friends be more like the characters in the story? Because the girls are well written, well crafted, and the stories are still fun and enjoyable after all this time. If only she could stay there, even if it was just for a day. She would cherish it for the rest of her life. If only, if only.
Please, why can't the stories be like the book?
She fussed at her pet.
I like it when people fight and hurt each other's feelings. It's you, me, Mommy, Sir Sonic, and everyone else who can live in the story. The way there would be no more fighting and everyone would be happy. So, very happy.
Cream, you do realize that Nightmare Moon happened because of a huge fight, right? You do realize things were never easy. As Cream and her child dozed off to dream, the Chaos Emerald on the dresser began to glow ever so brightly. In a chain reaction, the other 6 did the same. 5 were being held by Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and Cream, while the rest were unknown locations. Scone began to glow brighter, while outside, a huge cluster of storm clouds gathered around Central City. Barry Allen looked up, shocked at what was going on, and quickly donned his suit, ready for action. Oh, I'm sorry. All of a sudden, each of the emeralds began to spark, as if electricity shot through the gemstones. They began to float and shake violently, as the looming storm clouds gathered up in a swirl. Outside was still, until a wind went blasting winds jet through the downtown area, violently shaking trees in the process. By that time, everyone had already ran for shelter, and feared that there might be an oncoming tornado in the area. Sonic, who was resting on a tree, was finally shaking from a branch he was on. After picking his face off the dirt, he turned to look to see the oncoming storm approaching. Before he could run to the hills to get a better look, the Chaos Emerald, one color sapphire to match him, began to shake violently. He knew what was happening, and it wasn't good. I knew this wasn't an ordinary storm, he thought. Somebody's using chaos control, and a powerful one too. If things don't stop, we could be in major trouble. Before Sonic could act, the Chaos Emerald stopped moving, and the wind became still again. As quickly as it came, the storm was over just as fast. Phew, that's a relief. Guess everything's back to Sonic stopped mid-sentence when the emerald started to levitate in the air, shining brightly like a star. Squinting to prevent being blinded, he spotted the other 6 of brightly colored lights in the area. That must be the other emeralds, he thought, but Tails, Knuckles, Amy, and I had 4 of them. Where'd the other 3 come from? Does someone else have the rest of the emeralds? No time for questions. He had to do something before he was warped someplace else. The powerful gemstones then let out an explosion of raw chaotic energy that engulfed the area and Sonic in it. It was being chaos controlled for sure. Where would he end up? What was on the other side? The blue hedgehog struggled to hang onto a branch as everything else was sucked in. Each second he was losing his grip, but he was determined not to get taken in by the light. The branch weakened as he tried to hold on even longer. With a final snap, Sonic and the debris were sent flying into the endless void.